Hello there, Graceland Online. My name is Ryan Brown, and I'm just so thankful that you're tuning in today. Have you ever asked yourself this question? Why do I feel alone? Why do I feel alone? I know I have. I think for me, I felt the most alone when I was a freshman in college. Up to this point in my life, I had pretty clear guardrails, and I always had a next step. You see, my parents, my friends, they were there for me. They were there for me if I ever drifted off track. But when I got into college, I began feeling a sense of loneliness, even in a sea of thousands of students. Even though I was surrounded by people, I felt completely alone. In high school, I had a pretty clear view of who I was, and I felt like I was known, but when I got to college, I knew very few people, and my popularity, or at least what I thought was my popularity, it no longer existed. I felt alone. In college, I dove further and further into myself, and I communicated with people less and less often. Most students around me, they're medicating through alcohol, partying, all sorts of other kinds of things. And at times, I would actually isolate myself in my dorm room because I felt lost. I felt alone. Maybe today, you feel alone. You've recently lost someone close to you. Or maybe for you, you're battling physical pain, or you've got some sort of disease. Maybe for you, you don't know what to do next with your life, and because of this, you feel lost. It's likely that you have tried to battle loneliness in one of the following ways. Maybe you've been medicating just to escape the isolation, whether it's drugs, alcohol, TV, video games, or fill in the blank. Maybe you've sought out popularity. You just want to be famous, you want to be well liked, you want to be known on social media, or you just want to have some sort of influence. Maybe you've tried to create a list of next steps that puts you on the path to purpose, but with each and every step, you feel more and more alone and more lost. You thought to yourself, I've tried everything that I can do, but I feel lost. I feel alone. What if I told you that there was actually a better way? What if I told you that the void that you're experiencing can be filled with something that not only fills that void today, but it can give you hope for each and every day? You see, the treatment for loneliness, it has nothing to do with your reputation and everything to do with an invitation. The cure for loneliness is not steps on a list, but rather a relationship. Now, I know that was a lot, but I believe it was so important what I just said that I'm actually going to say those things again. And so maybe you want to take some time to write these down, and maybe you even want to pause this video to think about these things later. But here goes. The treatment for loneliness has nothing to do with your reputation and everything to do with an invitation. The cure for loneliness is not steps on a list, but rather a relationship. There was a lonely man. He wasn't very well liked because of his job. You see, he made a lot of money off of the backs of other people. His job was that he was a tax collector. And not only that, but he was actually a chief tax collector. And so each and every day for this man, it was about checking off steps on a list. Because of his job, he was wealthy, but it's likely that he felt completely alone for most of his life. Maybe you can relate. One day this man, he accepted an invitation to go and to listen to another man. It was said that this man spoke the words of eternal life. You see, this lonely man had tried to find purpose in money. He had tried to find purpose in his reputation, but those things can never satisfy. But as I said, it's about an invitation, and it's about a relationship. But back to my story. So that day, this lonely man whose name was Zacchaeus, he met the man whose words gave life. That man's name is Jesus. And Jesus would invite Zacchaeus to have a meal with him. And not only did Jesus have a meal with Zacchaeus, but Jesus wanted to get to know Zacchaeus. And more importantly, Jesus wanted Zacchaeus to trust in him and who he was. This account is actually, the details of this is actually found in the Bible. Specifically, this interaction took place in a book called Luke in the Bible. But I love how this interaction between Jesus and Zacchaeus would actually end. You see, at the end of the story, at the end of it all, Jesus would tell Zacchaeus this: "For the Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost." Now, to understand this, you need to know that one of Jesus' nickname was the Son of Man. So he was telling Zacchaeus that he, Jesus, had come to the world to save the lost, meaning that Jesus had come to save people just like Zacchaeus. Therefore, if today you feel lost, then I want you to hear this. Jesus came to save you. If you feel alone, Jesus wants to comfort you. If you feel isolated, Jesus is inviting you to be saved by him. Here's the thing I really want you to know. You are not alone. Jesus wants to know you. He's pursuing you. And you may be asking, well, how can this happen? And once again, I just want to remind you, the treatment for loneliness has nothing to do with your reputation and everything to do with an invitation. And the cure for loneliness is not steps on a list, but rather a relationship. So today, if you'd like to know more about what it looks like to have a relationship with Jesus, I would love to connect with you. One of the easiest ways for you to do that is to text the word connect to 812-432-2234. Again, just text connect to 812-432-2234. Also, maybe you're watching this and you can totally relate to the feeling of loneliness, but you've been saved because someone invited you to know Jesus. And maybe you know someone that would benefit from hearing this message. Please be sure to share this message by clicking share from this video on YouTube. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope and I pray that you would choose to come back again and again as we continue this conversation. But as I finish up, I want to leave you with this. If you feel alone, there's hope, and hope has a name. His name is Jesus.